Rajesh D, Assistant Commandant, serving in the 227 Battalion based at Sukma in Chhattisgarh. So I've been there in Sukma since the last 2 years, and it's a it's a privilege to talk to you, aspiring minds who are the future civil servants of this country. So I would like to take any sort of questions from you with regard to the internal security or Naxalism or whatever you have.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I have already prepared some questions from our students, sir. They had a lot of questions. I sorted them out and I put some questions, sir. Sir,
Sure.
how did you start all this, sir? Where did your journey begin?
Okay, my journey into this government service was mainly inspired from my father, who himself is a civil servant. He worked in the public works department as a civil engineer. He retired as assistant engineer. So the scope that you could do service to the nation, you have a lot of scope in this civil service. Like for instance, whatever you do at the end of the day, you get some sort of satisfaction. I was seeing it in my very home. My father was satisfied in whatever he was doing. So even he was a group A B employee, but if you happen to go into group A, this I the scope for your work to reach out to a lot of people is more. So that is where it started, and I had a passion to join the armed forces, uniform service since the beginning, and even in civil services, IPS was my first option. My journey into this UPSC was, I can say it is partially successful. I couldn't clear the civil services, but I was successful in CAPF, Central Armed Police Forces exam. Before joining as an assistant commandant in CRPF, I was working as a probationary officer in Canara Bank. Then I came into this CRPF. That is my very brief introduction.
Yes, sir. So you started with civil services, then you went to Canara Bank, then you went to CAPF Armed Forces, sir.
Yeah, that's correct.
Sir, how did this journey, from CAPF to from Canara Bank to CAPF? How did you prepare while working with the Canara Bank for CAPF, sir?
Okay, CAPF. Okay, let me just give you a very a brief, what do you call it, introduction regarding this CAPF exam. CAPF exam is, as you all know, it's a Central Armed Police Forces examination. It is conducted for mainly the post of assistant commandant for 5 services. That is CRPF, CASF, BSF, SSB, and ITBP. So if you happen to see into the pattern of this exam, you have this one objective paper of 250 marks. It has 125 questions, and it can be compared with the general studies paper 1 of this civil services preliminary examination. The standard of the questions are the same. That is paper 1, and paper 2 consists of the written part. You will be asked to write an essay and some general studies questions and English comprehension and of that sort. So this is how the qualifying, this is the qualifying examination for this CAPF. And coming back to your question, you were asking about the transition from a banker to what I am right now.
Yes, sir.
I was pretty happy with my Canara Bank job. I was based at Chennai. Chennai is it's like my second home. So I was preparing for civil services. Things were fine, but I was always feeling like, okay, this is not you. You can do something more. This is not you. You can do something. You can directly do something more for the nation, and that is what prompted me to quit Canara Bank and join CRPF as an assistant commandant.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the major difference you felt while preparing for UPSC and Bank PO and this CAPF exam, sir?
Okay, actually, Bank PO, I would not call that exam to be as very tough to clear, because if you are very, very strong in your fundamentals, for instance, logical reasoning, English comprehension, mathematics, and if you happen to practice those question papers frequently, clearing this Bank PO exam is not a very big deal. And coming back to CAPF, if you happen to prepare for civil service examination, you need not prepare separately for this CAPF. Maybe in one angle, you have to concentrate more with respect to this security. Like for instance, if there is something significant happening, like for instance, if the UPSC happens to conduct the CAPF exam in the next in the coming year, it will talk about which is the burning topic right now. It will talk about this. It will have some questions relating to this Galwan Valley, South China Sea. Those news which are currently in it's happening, questions will be based upon that. And
Yes.
apart from this, there is no like any separate preparation for this CAPF. If you are very strong in your civil service examination, you are bound to crack the CAPF exam. And in addition to this, there should be some basic level of fitness. Like for instance, you have to crack this, clear this 100 meters, 800 meters, long jump and shot put. There is a basic criteria for that, and if you happen to fulfill it, you will be clearing the CAPF exam.
Awesome,
I
sir.
won't call it easy, but with I hope all the students who are right now attending this webinar must be dedicated students. So clearing this examination for them must not be a very big deal, provided they are strong in their basics.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully, I think most of them are right now, understanding what this is about. Sir, see, sir, in CAPF, there are multiple branches, and you are in CRPF. Sir, what are these different branches too, and how are their duties differ?
Okay. So the UPSC conducts exam for CRPF, CASF, BSF, ITBP, and SSB.
Yes, sir.
So this all these five services come under the Ministry of Home Affairs. For the Ministry of Home Affairs, maintaining the internal security of the country, uh, stepping in times of disaster management, and coordinating between the central and states. These are the main things. And coming back to this internal security is mainly dealt by CRPF. Like for instance, when you talk about internal security, you have terrorism as first thing, and when you go beyond that, you have also this cross-border terrorism in Jammu Kashmir. You have this left-wing extremism in the central part of India, and the insurgency problem in the northeast. All these things are primarily handled by the CRPF. In addition to this, we have the CISF, that is the Central Industrial Security Force. Their primary duty is to guard the vital installations like airports, public sector undertakings, and so on. That is CISF. Now, when you talk about BSF, Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, and Sashastra Seema Bal, these three forces are guarding the borders. For instance, BSF, their main operation is in the Indo-Pakistan border and India-Bangladesh border. When you talk about SSB, Sashastra Seema Bal, they got the India-Nepal border. And ITBP, as you all know, that is the current hot topic, they got the Indo-China border. So normally these forces, they got the borders under normal circumstances. If there is an extraordinary circumstance, then the army steps in. But till then, they guard the border. Apart from this, for assisting the internal security, we have the National Security Guard, NSG. Yes. They are also called as the Black Cats. So yeah, their main thing is they, like for instance, when you talk about this 26/11 attack in Mumbai, they stepped in. They step in case of any extraordinary circumstances like 26/11. Yes. So this is the broad outline of the internal security.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask you one basically. Let's start with some basic things that we didn't. So, sir, what is the main difference between internal security and external security, sir? The main, the main definition, and who handles internal security, who handles external security in India, and okay, sir, please, you can start.
Yeah, internal security, like I mentioned earlier, is the main role of Ministry of Home Affairs. Yes. Like I said, Ministry of Home Affairs has three main role. That is to guard the internal security of the country. Second is cooperation between the central and states. Yes. And third, in times of any disaster management, Ministry of Home Affairs steps in. Now, the major difference between internal security and external security is internal security. See, the major internal security right now faced by our country is the threat of Naxals. Okay. So Naxals, internal security, you just go through the literal meaning of the word internal. It is internal. It is happening, something which is happening inside the country. what is the source of the problem? Naxalites. It is something which is happening in the, like, for instance, Naxalites. Where is the problem with the Naxalites? Primarily at Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, and fringes of Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh nowadays, itna jada. I mean, there are problem has reduced, but those main core areas, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and all, it is there. Matlab, see, what they do, Naxals, they just want to, their main goal is by 2050, their flag needs to fly in the Red Fort. That is their plan. So they do whatever needs to be done. For instance, take for instance the place where I am working, that is Chhattisgarh. Now,
Yeah.
their main aim is to suppress the economic growth of the state. They try to, what to say, they try to blast the roads, they threaten the people. They do not want this economic progress to happen. So
Government
they do
also.
whatever they want. I mean, they attack the security forces, they threaten the people, they threaten the, I mean, villages not to cooperate with the security forces.
What do they
They
want, sir?
want to they want to suppress the economy of the country.
And do
Okay.
what?
And
And do what by suppressing it? What do they want to achieve? And end of the day.
that is the problem now. There is no clear agenda from the side of Naxals. They don't have anything. If they are very, like, they are very clear in their goals, they would have done something. They're not. They don't have anything clear. If they are having anything clear, then they would approach the legitimate route. They can fight the elections. They don't have any such things. You see, that is the reason why they are not coming into the mainstream. That is the reason why they're just entering into this guerrilla warfare and prolonging the situation. They do not want to progress. So, coming back to your question, internal security. So, this is one thing. This is happening in the central part of India. And when you happen to go to the northeast, there again is the problem of insurgency. There also, see, the problem is they want to undermine the authority of the Indian government, the government of India. They want to again suppress the economic activity, whatever is happening. They just want to, what to say? They just want to balkanize India into a lot of smaller states, so that, as I mean, because India as a nation state, they do not want to exist. So there is a link between this internal security. See, internal security, all these things happening in the central part of India, northeast, and yeah, of course, in Jammu Kashmir. Jammu
Yes.
Kashmir, the problem is internal security. Terrorists are coming, but the main thing is who are supporting this actors, non-state actors. The support comes to them from outside. For in Jammu Kashmir, we all know from where, from which country Pakistan is sponsoring this cross-border terrorism. So this internal security has a role with the external security. Some unfriendly state of India, they
Yeah.
have some unholy nexus with the what to say, the
Yes.
terrorists, and they plan to do something. So
Yes,
that is
sir.
the linkage between the internal security and external security.
The difference is very clear, sir, and the linkage actually, that's very clever, sir. I'd never thought that this will be linked in this such a way. Normally, there is
Yeah,
a, yeah.
and in addition to this, we all mean. I don't want to mention it explicitly, but the Naxalites are also funded by one of our neighbors. That is
Okay.
also an open secret, but which is not being said explicitly. The
Yes.
funding comes from outside. See, the external actors, they fund those people who, I mean, those Naxalite terrorists who are inside the country, and they see, when the internal security of the country is deteriorated, what will happen? The extra, I mean, more resources will be going to handle this.
Yes.
They are diverting the resources inside, so that they can find some loopholes in the external thing, and they just want to create a mess out of it.
Yes, yes, sir. So when our home is not proper, we can't handle go outside and handle anything. So
That is the thing. That is the thing. See, I'll
yes,
just make one reference to you here. See,
yes, sir.
this is not relating to Naxalism, but you take USA.
Hmm.
USA is the number one country in the world in terms of, I mean, that is a superpower. That is an undisputable superpower. Now,
Yes.
why is USA very powerful? You just see the neighbors of USA. What do you have in the northern part of USA? You have
Canada,
Canada. What do you have in southern part? You have Mexico. And
Mexico.
internally, is there any problem in USA? There is
No.
no
No.
problem. There is no civil war. There is no revolt or anything. So internally, everything is fine. Externally, everything is fine. USA does not want to focus on the security threats internally, externally. They focus everything on economy. So
Yeah.
easily they are very powerful. Now, when it comes to India, internally also we have a lot of problem. Externally also we have a lot of problem. You're all seeing what is happening. So this is the main thing. Security easily that is very important for the.
Geographical position of a strategic position of a country is very important, I guess.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yes,
But
sir.
we cannot choose our neighbors. We have to handle.
Yes, yes. It's like we are born to our parents, we are born with our neighbors.
Huh, that is the
Country.
thing.
Yes, sir. That's nice, sir. Sir, in CAPF, when you joined, sir, what was how did you handle the training while preparing and while doing the bank job? We should be like a little bit chilled down. So the when you went into this training, how did you handle that harsh training? Is it
Training
harsh?
was no doubt it was very harsh, but I was into this fitness. I was like, for instance, I used to participate in this marathons, not marathons. It's 10-kilometer runs, 5-kilometer runs, and I used to keep myself fit. Like, for instance, daily I go play some badminton, do some push-ups. So I was fit, but even this level of fitness was not enough for CRPF in the sense that in the initial 1 or 2 months it was very hectic. It was
Yes.
very hard. That I mean, like they even before the training commenced, they said like in 3 months we will totally disassemble and assemble back your body, and that is what has happened actually. So in the initial 1 month, my legs were paining like hell, and I was literally limping for close to 2 weeks in the initial 1 or 2 months of the training. It was very hard, but
Yes.
luckily, not luckily, it has to happen. My body adjusted to all these training given by the academy, and somehow I was able to
Yes, sir.
manage it and finish it successfully. The thing is, see, if you are doing this alone, I mean,
Yes.
it becomes a problem. But when there are 50 other people who are training with you, the spirit of training, it catches you.
Yes.
So, like for instance, I mean, our batch consisted of 51 officers, and we were divided into 5 squads. So each squad consisted of 10 people. So the spirit was imbibed in us. When we run as a group of 10.
Oh,
So teamwork was what made us get through the rigors of this training without any what to say, any unpleasant memories. I
yes.
mean, initially it was very unpleasant. Physically, it was very demanding. You will not be having any time to sleep. You won't be having time to do anything. It will just go on. You will be like what to say. Continuously, you will be like a clock is running continuously. You will also be running continuously over there. But at the end of it, it was fine. We learned a lot. Especially this armed forces training will teach you a lot about your body. You will be thinking that okay, this physical task is beyond my capability, but that is not the thing. You will definitely do it. You will somehow find some ways and means to do it, and ultimately you will come to know that mind is what matters the most. You just think about a marathon runner. Marathon is kitna kilometers? 40, 41, 42 kilometers. 42 kilometers. So, I mean, anyone who would not have run, most of the people, they would not have run more than 5 kilometers. For them, running 42 kilometers is it's impossible. But
Yes.
that is also possible. Mind is what matters the most.
Wow.
You will enjoy it. Many people who are attending this webinar, they might become IPS officers, and trust me, initially it might be very difficult, but at the end of it, it will transform you. You will enjoy the process. I
Wow.
have one of my friend who is who is an SP in one of the districts of Chhattisgarh. He was close to 100, not 100, yeah, somewhere 95 to 100 kgs at the beginning of his training. He reduced it to close to 75 kgs. He reduced 25 kgs during his training, and he was feeling wonderful.
Wow. That must be crazy. Like, sir, while we are in this topic of fitness, when do you wake up and when do you sleep, sir? During the training and normally also? When you're
Okay, during the training, it is like you have to get away 4:30. 4:30 your day begins.
yeah.
You have to go to the marker parade by 5:15. Depends upon the weather at that time, because at Delhi, The winters are especially harsh. So during winters, your marker starts at maybe 5:45, and during the summer months, it starts at 5 o'clock. So usually it starts at 4:30 and it goes on till 10:30. So you barely get time to sleep over there. And normally, see that happened during training. But
Hmm.
even otherwise, normally during my posting at
Hmm.
Sukma and Chhattisgarh, I used to get up at 5:30, because there also you have this system of marker. You have to make your jawans fall in and conduct some physical training exercises, because that is the core quality of a soldier. You have to be fit, and getting up early in the morning is not just because for the sake of it. It imbibes a sort of discipline into your into whatever you do. So that
Yes.
is how it goes. And of course, it
So
is enjoyable. See, the peace which you happen to experience at the in the very early hours of the day is something which you have to experience. Of course, this peace, some people can find it even at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, but that is different. I'm
yes.
just saying it for just for the sake of it.
So the people right now who are preparing for this service, I think, sir, right, most of the people, what they do is they wake up late, and I think if anyone is enough few persons want to go into an IPS or become an CAPF or commander or something like that, get habituated to waking up early. That's what sir is saying.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If you are into the if you want to go into the armed forces, better wake up early.
Start from now, because you are
Yeah,
already there.
definitely you can start from now. You will enjoy the process.
Yes.
See, this is some people would have heard about this time called as Brahma Muhurtam, between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Yes.
If you're
Yes.
going to get up early, you will that is a different feeling.
Yes.
I'm just suggesting for some people, studying late in the night will work, but you try this also. This also works. See, at the end of it, you have to study, you have to put in your best so that you clear this exam. But of course, for people who are apprehensive about getting up early in the morning, it is worth the try. Please try it.
Yes, sir. I have a personal question, sir, from these people, because I have talked to a lot of students during mentoring sessions and all, and people are saying that I am a night owl. I will be studying only in the night. I am not very good at waking up early. But if they go into service, it is mandatory for them to wake up early, right, sir?
Yeah, that is mandatory, because see, you leave these armed forces, uniform services. You talk about this IAS. You talk about any service. In the initial foundation course, which happens at Lavasna, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, there also you have to get up early. I mean,
Yes.
like for instance, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So that schedule is there for everyone, not only for the armed forces. Even during the foundation course, you have to get up early. There is no other go. But at this point of time, if you are very comfortable in studying in the late hours, carry with it. There is no issue about it. Ultimately, you have to clear this exam, come what may.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's a timing issue. A lot of people were saying. And sir, how do you think people should manage the time? Sir? Aspirants who are new to this, they
So,
are
sir,
having so the
managing
time
the time.
management, sir. How do you suggest people can manage the time? Sir?
Okay, you are asking about something, people who are working, people who
Yeah,
are
sir.
not working. Okay, let
Yes,
me
sir.
talk
One
about.
thing, sir. First of all, you yourself worked in bank, and then you cleared this exam. So how did you manage?
Okay, now how many students in this webinar they are full time into this civil service preparation? Just give me an approximate number, or the percentage of those people who are full time into civil services preparation.
We have around 70% of the people are full time preparing full time, sir, and around 30% of the people they are working and preparing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me just first talk about this working aspirants, the 30%, because for them time is a very big deal.
Yes.
Maybe they work for approximately maybe 9 to 6 in the a typical day, 9 hours. Okay.
Yes.
See, of course, you have a disadvantage, but that disadvantage is just on paper. Otherwise, it is all your mind. Na? See, for this civil service preparation, rather than the quantity of the amount that you put in, the quality of your study time matters the most. For these people, for those who are working and preparing, for you getting up early is very mandatory, because at the end of the day, once you go back to your home, you might be feeling very tired. But if you happen to follow some schedule wherein you go to bed by around 10 o'clock, get up by 4 o'clock, you have this 2 3 hours window, 2 3 hours 4 hours window in the morning where you can study uninterruptedly. And you people can study, maybe try to put in 1 or 2 more hours in the evening. So total it adds up to 4 quality hours of study time. And as you all know, nowadays we carry these Android phones with us, and there are a lot of apps, Android apps, where you can go through these what do you call news articles, and maybe for those who are working in systems, you can carry a pen drive in your what do you call, in this free time you can try to chip in some few minutes. That is how you have to manage. See, but definitely those who are working and studying, please make it a habit of getting up early in the morning and studying. It will definitely help you. And please don't feel that you are at a very big disadvantage है, लेकिन इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. मतलब you don't have a very big disadvantage. It all depends upon your mind and your will to study. And coming back to the regular aspirants, you are this is your full time job. Matlab, cracking this exam. Now everyone is supporting you back at home. Now since you are sitting in front of a computer with internet connection, you must be financially, there is no big deal for you. So just make a time frame. Okay, 1 year, 2 year, not more than that. Give your full shot in whatever you're having. See, just before going into this, you just think about why I have come into this preparation, for what purpose. The purpose needs to be kept in front of you always. And if there is a why, then the how will automatically take care of itself. So for those people who are full time into this, there is nothing like any strategy, because everyone has their own strategy. But whatever you do it on a consistent basis. Like for instance, today you will study for intensively. You will study for 7 8 hours, and next 2 days you will not be doing anything. No, that does not work in civil services preparation. That works in maybe other examinations, but this exam, it needs consistency. Consistency is the keyword. Yes. For both the regular
working people and regular people,
and
full-time aspirants.
That's correct.
Yes, sir. I have observed that too, sir. I have spoken to a lot of people, and so there are two angles to this. See, sir, one side, this full-time aspirants, what they have, they are also at a disadvantage, as in they are not financially secure.
Okay.
But working people, they are financially secure, but they don't have time.
Okay.
So this is one thing I observed, sir, and I think both of them can handle this in their own ways. They should handle it, because it's end of the day, it's all as you said, they have to manage the time. And one good advice is, sir, you gave, working people should definitely wake up early. That I think is very important for our working people and aspirants. Sir, let's go into some sir. Today we have you with us. So I want to actually go into the issues of this internal security, sir. So, sir, there are some questions, sir. How did Naxalites actually come about? Why did they go for arms? What, as we already discussed, that there is no particular agenda, we don't know. But there are Naxalites everywhere in India. But the place you are working right now, I've been in Chhattisgarh too, in Bastar area, and the place you are working, it's very much intensive there. Did you ever encounter anyone like that, sir? Did you ever meet any Naxalites?
Okay, I have not asked. I mean, I have not met them, but we were very close to, like, what do you call? During an operation, on one occasion, we were very close. Like for instance, we were at a distance of close to 1 kilometers, but before we actually happened to encircle that area, but under the cover of a lot of trees, they somehow managed to go away, because that is how the terrain is. The terrain at Chhattisgarh is very tough, in the sense the forest area, it is densely forested, and the localites, they have this advantage of the knowledge of the terrain, and sometimes they, even if they are close to us, they happen to manage to flee. So
yes.
Abhi tak encounter I have not done, because I am also new to the service. But my colleagues, they encounter matlab, not to be taken literally. They happen to
meet them,
come very close to the Naxals.
Yes,
that is happening on a daily basis.
Okay, sir. The Naxals, the people, sir. Primarily, the Naxals are in forest, right? in India. They are in the forest and they use guerrilla tactics. And the one concern about this, sir, tribal life. How is that affecting tribal life over there, sir?
Tribal life, okay. See, actually, the media, it projects an image that Naxalites, not Naxalites, sorry, the tribal people, they are caught in the crossfire between Naxalites and the police armed forces, whatever. But that is
Hmm.
not truth. I don't feel like they are caught in the crossfire, because what we do is we never force the villagers to do this or that or whatever it is. We are there for helping them. See, let me talk about CRPF. CRPF is there in Chhattisgarh to help the state government in maintaining the law and order issue in that state, in that particular region. So we don't go there and do anything forceful or try to, what do you call, control the tribal population, anything of that sort. See, for instance, I am there. When I go there for operation, I try to talk to the local people about the schemes. What are the schemes available? What are the schemes provided by the state government, central government, and
Yeah.
even some of my Jawans. I mean, right now lockdown is going on, so I mean, students are at their home. We call the students. We ask them, "Do you have any doubt in your what you are studying?" And even during our ops for 5 minutes, we'll take a break. We'll teach those kids. That is how CRPF is trying to project its image. There is nothing like the Naxals, or I mean the tribals are caught in any crossfire. For instance, in CRPF, what we do is we have our own machinery. For instance, we have two JCBs in our battalion. We try to talk to the villagers, ask them, what do you need? Do you need any I mean, do you want us to dig any ponds, talab?
Hmm.
We also try to help them in their agricultural activities. We try to get tractors on rent. We try to till their lands. That is
Wow.
how it happens. See, and main thing in Naxal affected areas, this triumvirate of power has to work together. By triumvirate, what I mean is
Yes.
this district magistrate,
Hmm.
the armed forces, the superintendent of police and CRPF, whatever. The third is the district forest officer. These three sources of power, they need to work in tandem with each other. See, district collector, he has the like, for instance, he coordinates everything between which happens under him, be it the welfare activities or getting funds to the people, to the panchayat. SP, what he does, SP coordinates with us, with CRPF, with, for instance, in Chhattisgarh, it is Special Task Force and District Rangers Group, DRG. He has to manage the security thing.
Yes.
Now, third is the district forest officer, who again is an Indian Forest Service officer.
Through,
So what he
through
does is,
UPSC.
huh,
Yes.
what he does, he has to make people aware about the forest produce, and he has to make ways and means to market them. See, for instance, we have this TriFed. It is an organization which procures these minor and major forest produce.
Yes.
So Chhattisgarh, I think last year it contributed the highest to this trifed.
Yes.
So the thing is, we are not there for any creating any problem there. We are there to ensure peace and tranquility is maintained.
Yeah.
And CRPF officially follows this strategy of VAM. See, along with the force deployment, what we follow is VAM, that is winning hearts and minds. So, how do
Wow.
we win hearts and minds? Like, for instance, these little things, like, for instance, we interact with the kids, we teach them actually. In fact, in my free time, I go to the nearby school. If there is any possibility of taking classes, I do it. And we conduct this CAP, Civic Action Program,
Hmm.
wherein we distribute some articles of utility to the public. And in times of this corona, during April, we distributed hand sanitizers, gloves and all. So that is how things are working in Chhattisgarh right now. So there is no, like, there is nothing called as the tribals are stuck in between the forces and Naxalites, of course, they do force the tribals to support them, like, for instance, logistics and all. They used to force the tribals to give them food, vehicles. That happens in the side of Naxals alone, and there is nothing like there is no forceful thing, anything of that sort from the security forces. Especially, there is nothing from CRPF.
Okay. Actually, that's good, really good to know, sir. Because right now we know how the ground reality is.
Yeah.
directly from a assistant commandant, and that's really opens a lot of mind space, sir. We understand a lot today, and sir, tribals in particular, when we go to tribals, their culture, sir, tribals are like a close knit community. They don't allow other people to come in and all that. Do tribal big Naxalites who are there, do tribal people join Naxalites, or how they are formed there, sir, in that particular region? Where do these Naxalites come and form in that one hotspot?
Okay, see, Naxalites, what do they do is they, I mean, like I said, it can be linked with the previous question. They come there, they forcibly take things from people, they forcibly ask these people to join into their cadre to fight against the security forces. Now, coming back to your original question, like you are asking how, what is the nature of their life? That was your
Yes,
question, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. So Naxalites, of course, they are very close knit, but they are see basically sorry, tribal people. Tribal
Tribal
people
people.
basically they are very simple. For instance, their day begins at by default. Their day begins at whenever the daylight breaks in. For instance, if the sunrise happens at 5:30, their day starts at 5:30. They are extremely hardworking. There is like they always work. They work very hard. That is the reason why see there is a lot of scope now if someone
Yes,
is working hard. For
yes,
instance, one even one of our aspirants, if he happens to go to Chhattisgarh as an IAS officer, he can tap into that resource.
yes,
So tribal people, they are very simple, hardworking. They are very like their day starts very early.
yes. Okay.
For instance, those who are in the forest area, they go for his collection of wooden
Gathering.
logs
Yes.
and other. For in Chhattisgarh, this have you heard of this mawa
Oh,
trees?
yes, yes.
So they go for this mawa flower plucking during the months of March, April, May,
Hmm.
and other forest produce they used to collect it. So
Yes,
that is
yes.
how Naxalites. They mean sorry, I'm tribals. They are very simple people. You had some
Okay.
other follow-up question along with that?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Naxalite, sir, there is one, sir. Let's address some student questions, sir. They are asking right now. Please ask Rajesh, sir, what initiatives are they conducting in times of COVID? Did they flush out Naxals and terrorists utilizing the lockdown and exterminate any of them?
Okay, using okay during Corona, the question is whether we have flushed out them.
Yes, during Corona, because there was no much longer movement in the place, so people must be stuck at one place. So, did our force go there and flush them out, or some did something like that happen?
Okay,
What the
actually,
initiative we took?
uh, I won't subscribe to this usage of word flushing them out because they are our own people. You can't flush them out. It is not like they are terrorists from another country.
There are own
That
people.
is not we operate how we operate.
Yes,
See, whether Corona, I mean, COVID crisis is happening there or not. See, in Chhattisgarh is largely unaffected by Corona as of now because it's
yes,
uh, largely people from other states, they don't come there. Only the free movement happens there. So largely, Chhattisgarh it is not affected by Corona, and our security, I mean, forces operations is not was not that much affected by this COVID-19,
mm,
and our operations are they are going as how it was going before, and there is nothing called as flushing out. See, this
mm,
happens to like it should happen with the help of the government. See, it is not like the security forces are there, they are all out to kill the Naxals, flush them out. That it is not like that.
yes. This is
Proper
a media
talk
is
should
there.
also happen at the like what to say, government should also talk with the Naxal leadership. Things will end only on that with the security forces on ground and
Yes.
with proper negotiations and proper if the government implements its policies properly, that is how this problem will end. It is not like flushing out the Naxals, and that is not correct also.
Yes, sir. That's like, so normally media portrays it like that. They use this
Ah.
word. So normally general public, they got stuck with these words.
Yeah, yeah. See, there is actually nothing wrong in asking such a question because he or she has asked this question, and we have we know how to what
Yes.
words we should
Now,
use. And one more thing. See, for instance, such words should not be used in your personality test, because it will like what to say, portray a negative picture about you.
extreme.
It's good that this question was asked here. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Sir, there is another question. What is the language you use to communicate with the tribals? I guess they are using.
Okay, tribal. See, those people who are along this national highways and the state highways, they happen to talk in Hindi. But other people, they talk in Gondi, they talk in Halbi. Now in CRPF, we are trying to teach our Jawans. We are trying to learn this language, this Gondi, Halbi, and all, and we are trying to improve on this. And when we go out for an operation, we take some local civil police with us. So when the local civil police is with us, he or she talks in their own native language, which sort of helps. But there is a lot of scope for improvement on this, because we do not know their language. We do not know Gondi or Halbi, but we are trying to learn. And on this is a very good question. Actually, one IAS officer, I think she's in I think Andhra Pradesh or Chhattisgarh, I'm not very sure. She actually learned this Gondi language in a short span of time. She learned it in 3 months, and she was very successful. Local people, they were very helpful to her. She also did a lot to her. I'm not sure about her name, but this happened. She is in, I think, Chhattisgarh or Andhra Pradesh, somewhere there.
Sure.
So you just Google about this. This is a very good question. If we happen to, communicate to them in their own native language, there is a lot of.
Adilabad from Divya from Adilabad, sir. Divya Goda.
Okay, Adilabad. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Fine. Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yes, sir. And one more question, sir. About this is the last question on the Naxalites, sir. This, sir, if Naxalites can reach tribal people and affect them like that, why can't government with so much resource is not having that much effect on tribal life? This is one of the questions. Are we actually having, see sir, this is just a question. What is the ground reality? Are we actually able to reach, do our IPS and IAS officer can actually making any impact there by doing all this?
See, till now, maybe I would say till 10 years back, I'm not very sure how effective it was done. I was told that not much of work was done, but nowadays, what is happening is everyone is trying to reach out to them. The problem is a lot of areas are very like deeply they are in interior areas, they are forested areas. Reaching out to them is a problem, and this is where this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is coming into play. If you happen to actually build roads and reach out to them, naturally the government schemes will go to them. Naturally, the local government officials will physically make their presence there, and things will slowly improve. It is not like how it is in other states right now. There is this problem of connectivity, communication. Not all places have this mobile towers. But right now, nowadays, this Reliance Jio is setting up towers. BSNL is setting up a lot of towers. Things are definitely moving in the right direction. Of course, much could have been done, but right now, both the central government and the state government, they are doing their best. All the resources are being diverted towards these Naxal affected states, and things are better now. For instance, there is this National Highway 30 which runs through Raipur. Through the state of Chhattisgarh, like Raipur, Jagdalpur, Sukma, Bhadrachalam, and all. Before it was not properly laid. Now it is properly laid. A lot of vehicular movements are going. A lot of things are happening, and things are moving in the right direction.
Okay. Okay, sir. So the communication and the transportation played a main role. And
Definitely.
To develop that, we had taken some time, but mostly the tribal people and Naxalites, they able to affect the tribal people because they were close to them in the forest.
That's correct.
But government, they have to lay the roads, they have to start the communication process. Because of that, maybe it took time. Because of that.
Yes. That is what I say. Right now this process is happening now. All this road laying process, all this telecommunication related issues, all these things are going on the right direction, and government is doing its duty in the right earnest. So we will see these results. And for instance, if someone gets posted at Chhattisgarh, there is no need of any fear that Naxal problem is there, a lot of problem. Aisa kuch nahi, there is nothing of that sort. You have a lot of scope to work. Like you have a lot of what do you call it? You can do a lot of innovation there. There is a lot of work to be done, and if you are very hardworking and with the right mindset, then sky is the limit there.
Yes, sir. A
You
lot of
have
people
a
ask that when you go to Chhattisgarh, there is a lot of Luxrate problems. I studied in NIT Raipur, sir. And in Raipur, when I went there, no, all my family and relative people were asking me when I reached there, did you see any Naxalites? And I was like, this is the capital of the city, and this is so much cooler than any other city I've been to. And it's my college days, and I never encountered any Naxalite issue there, sir. And as you said, sir, is the media which is portraying too much of the Naxalite problem, I guess, sir? Because I
okay.
have been there.
Naxalite problem is there. See, even in my place, I am at Sukma. Naxalite problem is there, but still I enjoy my posting over there. See, my area of responsibility is just to the southern border of Kangarghati National Park.
Okay.
So it is like it is a national park. You are in the lap of nature. Though the nature of your duty is a bit serious and security issues are there. I mean, I do enjoy my tenure over there. Even I mean, right now I am at my hometown in Tamil Nadu, but just coming before here, I was. I mean, I visited a what do you call a waterfall. Do you know which is India's widest waterfall? Can anyone type it in the chat
Come
screen?
on. Right now we are putting up a quiz. Come on, guys.
Okay, who is that? Akil
Yeah,
Krishna.
Akil Krishna.
Okay,
Yes.
that's correct. India's
Yes, sir.
widest waterfalls is at Chitrakot.
Yes,
It is
sir.
close to 300 meters at this point of time during monsoon. I mean, I visited that. It is hardly an hour's drive from my battalion.
Yes,
So
sir.
you can enjoy a lot over there. And
Chitrakoot is awesome, sir. I went in 2013.
uh, so there is a lot of facilities for keeping yourself chilled out in Chhattisgarh or wherever you go. See, wherever you get posted, it is your mindset which determines your level
Yes.
of happiness. Now, see, 10 days back, I was at Chhattisgarh, today I'm at Tamil Nadu, but it does not make any big difference to me. Wherever I am happy, whatever I'm doing. That is how your mindset should also be. Now, many of you should be sitting in your home, but what do you call? This is a time to now it's lockdown is going on. This is a time to think if you are making any mistakes in your strategy, you can like what do you call try to make some amendments
Sir,
wherever you whatever you
on
do
that point,
with
sir.
a lot of enjoyment.
Sir, on that point, sir, there is a huge question, sir. While we are discussing this, let's include that question in. Sir, a lot of people in this lockdown and people who are preparing for long term, they are facing problem with motivation.
Hmm.
How do they keep up the motivation, sir? Every day waking up, doing the same thing and going to sleep. For result, you have to wait for years. So this is the pain of the aspirant, and we get it, sir. We've been through that. So how do they handle it, sir? This is the one of the major questions. How to keep up
Yeah,
the spirit?
I do accept that. Even I was having this thing, but not for a very lot of, I mean, larger period of time. See, this is what I told in the initial one of a few minutes of our conversation. Like you set a target, keep a time frame, 1 or 2 years, not more than that, because ultimately your motivation level should be at a very high level for clearing this exam. This is not like some one. MCQ type question paper. You have to clear this MCQ type. Uske baad after 3 months you have to go for this descriptive answers. So again, coming back to this point, why should you clear this exam? See, right now we are all normal people. Okay.
Yes,
When
sir.
you happen to clear this, you just think about this. You just think, project yourself into the future and think. When you happen to clear this IAS and IPS,
Yes.
I'm just telling you, your level of thinking, your total world will change. There is absolutely no doubt about that because you just think about this, think about the attention that you might get from the outside world. You just think about your parents, how happy they will be if her or his son or daughter has become an IAS or IPS or IFS or whatever service in the civil services. You just think about them and you just think about what all you can do by clearing this exam. See, I'm an assistant commandant right now.
Yes.
I am happy with whatever work I'm doing. I mean, I have a lot of scope to do, but definitely an IAS officer or an IPS officer, scope for change in the people of these lives is immense. Immense, matlab, I mean, that is, I mean, you should actually be there to see whatever they can do. See, you have the what do you call the politicians are there to guide the overall functioning of the state or center. But the people who actually work on the ground are the IAS officers. See, number one is you will be given the best of facilities. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Second is the respect you command. Third is by your own action, you will see the change in the lives of people. You can not only if I mean, for instance, if you are the district collector of Sukma, you can literally turn that district into a very prosperous district. See, right now the tribal people are there; they are hardworking. Okay, there are a lot of resources, but they do not know how to utilize their resources. A lot of things are there. See, for instance, I was talking about this TriFed. TriFed's managing director is an IAS officer. Now, what he has done recently, I mean, I was also talking about this Mawa seeds. Mawa seeds are there. Mawa seeds, Mawa flowers are there. Mawa flowers are used for preparing alcohol. Now, he has taken up an initiative so that this Mawa drink can be formalized and it can be sold all over India. Now, those flowers were just lying like that. Now, because of the initiative of an IFS officer, he has he has given some source of income to the tribals, and he is also instrumental in I mean, what do you call this, spreading this I mean, Mawa drink is also good for your health. So what I'm trying to say is an IAS officer or an IPS officer's scope for making change in the lives of people is real. It is not just like just words written on the paper. There is very
actually do
lot of things you can do on the ground. And trust me, you will never feel disappointed with this job. You see, with this IAS and IPS, your mind will be always running. Like you will give your best. That is what should, in my opinion, should motivate you to give your best. Because this service, see, I mean, I can vouch for it. There is no service like IAS or IPS. I'm talking about the government service, and the level of satisfaction, the level of power that you happen to wield in your hands is unimaginable. You should be there to feel it.
Yes.
Because I mean, I work with them. I can see a lot of things. So that based on that, I'm talking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awesome, sir. Sir, how did you, sir? You went into this assistant commandant post right now, and how to prepare for the CAPF job, sir? How to crack that exam? What is the way? When does the notification come? How to go into this?
Okay,
Normally.
this notification thing has gone into a lot of tailspin because of this corona. I'm not sure when the next thing is going to come, but like
Normally.
I said, if you're very serious in your civil services examination preparation, there is no necessity for any sort of extra preparation for this CAPF exam. You just be you just happen to, you should go through these last 10-15 years question paper. If you happen to solve those questions, you should be fine. And apart from this, what you should do is you should keep yourself physically fit. See, I would recommend people to, all of you, to apply for this exam, because what is the main advantage you will get out of this? If you happen to clear this, preliminary exam, you will go into this physical test. After clearing physical test, you will have to appear for this personality test at Delhi. And the same board of officers and eminent people who will interview you in the actual civil services examination, they will interview in this CAPF. So whether if you happen to join CAPF or you do not join, you have this advantage of facing the interview board in actual circumstances at Delhi. And even for people who want to join, it is a very good career. Like for instance, you will be satisfied. There is a lot of advantage for
sir, please eliminate on that perks of being a CAPF commandant. Perks of being there.
Okay, I'm not getting a question.
What are the advantages? What are you going to get if you become a assistant commandant in CAPF?
Okay, I'll talk about the CRPF. For instance, in CRPF there are approximately 243 battalions, and I work for the 227 battalion based at Sukma. So in a battalion there are close to 1,100 men, and I command one company of CRPF personnel, which consists of 135 people. So in that, in my area of responsibility, I have to maintain the law and order. I should make sure that the developmental activities of the government and the actually this NH passes through my area of responsibility. I have to make sure that the area is peaceful, the vehicles are moving, there is no issues to them. See, the main benefit of being in CRPF is it is a pan-Indian organization. CRPF is the largest paramilitary force in the world. Right
Oh.
from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there are battalions along the lengths and breadths of the country.
Mm.
So you happen to work one day at Chhattisgarh, you happen to work at Kashmir, Northeast, you happen to travel to a lot of places. And see, before I was working in Canara Bank, it was a comfortable job.
Yes.
Now this job, I mean, it cannot be compared with the civilian job. The amount of happiness, the amount of satisfaction that you happen to gain out of this is it is not comparable. What do? You go out for operation, you move around in jungles, there is this thrill of going out for operations, there is this pride of wearing the uniform on a daily basis, you keep yourself fit, you talk to like-minded people, you talk to a lot of officers, you motivate your men to uh, come behind you, you keep them in high spirits. All these things, it really, you should experience it on the field to
Yes.
uh, make a sense of what I'm saying.
I can actually get the feeling of that, sir. Right now, when you said that, actually, I was like literally went into all those modes fonts in small, and
That's
it's
good.
amazing, sir. It's amazing. So that is your daily that's your whole routine, right, sir? Traveling, doing everything, and I think it's the best job in the world. But how do you handle family, sir, while doing all this?
Okay, see, family, it depends upon your head of office. If he allows you, you can keep your family with them. There is like, for instance, what do you call? This is a different setup of life.
Mm.
You see, it so happens that for 3 years you will be posted in a hard posting, for instance, Sukma. Maybe in the next 3 years you will get posted in Delhi or Chennai or Hyderabad. So in
Okay.
that sense, it is manageable. It is not like it's very difficult. Even we have officers, they have families. It is manageable.
Mm.
It is not like it is unmanageable or things like that. It is fine.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
So, sir, during your preparation for CAPF and during your, sir, when you were in Canara Bank, obviously you were an aspirant then back then, and how did you handle any stress? Did you have any stress? And you said that it's about the mindset. Did you keep that mindset from the beginning itself?
Mindset, of course, with age, I happen to learn a lot. In bank, the problem is you are, and especially when you are working in a city branch, you have to deal with a lot of customers. Bank job was a little stressful in that sense because from morning to evening, you have to sit in front of the computer screen. At the end of the day, your eyes will become very tired. It was a little bit hectic. That was one reason why I wanted to leave Canara Bank also.
Yes.
Though I was getting some decent salary and all, it was quite difficult to prepare while I was working at Canara Bank at that point of time. But with this mindset, what do you call? I could have prepared better.
Yes, sir. Sir, fine. So, sir,
Okay.
what is the final advice you want to give to our students?
Ask these three questions to you frequently. There you are here. What time is it? The time is now. Who are you? You are this moment. So in this moment, give your best. And if you happen to give your best in this moment, your future will be great and awesome.
Awesome, sir. Great, great. So thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for being here and sharing all these valuable insights of yours. Sir, finally, I got to know that you and Vishnu sir were close. And sir, how did you meet him, Vishnu sir, and what is your experience with him, sir?
Okay, Vishnu sir, I knew him because of my association with Canara Bank. We were colleagues at one point of time. See, I can tell one thing about Vishnu sir. In one simple word, he is very authentic. There is nothing like cooking up or anything of that sort. He is very authentic. He is very sincere in whatever he does. I mean, this is not. I'm not talking about 2020. I've seen this from 2013. If he talks to someone or if he talks to a group of people, he is actually into it. He is very sincere in what he does. He is not like narrow-minded. Even in 2013, he knew how. his life is going to be, there is always a long-sighted approach. Even for, I mean, let us talk about this batch or this civil services examination. If there is a batch, he knows how to take this batch forward, and it is very nice that you people have got a mentor like him. If you are giving your best, he will also give his best in return, and it will be a mutual. It will be mutually beneficial for both the student and the mentor.
He is our commandant, and we are his
You got a very
battalion.
authentic person. Make the best use of him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, that's thanks a lot, sir, for all this motivation, inspiration, and your insights, and your sharing your daily life, and what you actually think about the service and the ground realities of the tribal life and the Naxalites, and how all these things are going on in India. We have discussed a lot, and for all this, sir, we from VISHNU IAS and our students are like right now, sir, hundreds of students are thanking you, sir, non-stop. And
Yeah, I've just shared my email ID with the students. If people who are, interested in joining the armed forces, IPS or anything of that sort, and if you are having any doubts on these things, you are always welcome to just send me a mail. If in my free time, I'll just try to reply you guys.
yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thanks a
That
lot.
would be awesome, sir. Please, you can leave a message here, sir, in the chat box. You can send message your email ID there, and people
Yeah,
will.
I have sent my. I've shared my mail ID.
Done, sir. We'll share it if anyone asks us. We'll share from our end too. If anyone want any guidance from your side, we will definitely do that, sir. And thanks a lot, sir. It was a great session. Thanks a lot, and see you soon, sir. And hope we will be, our students are inspired by you, and by the messages we are seeing. They are saying Jai Hind and thanks a lot. You are our VISHNU, sir, and you have been great mentors, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. All the best for whatever you do. All the best for creating a lot of IAS and IPS officers from this academy. People here are very authentic and genuine. Guys, please make the best use of them. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Jai Hind, sir.